Hi guys, so I'm going to show off my Appliancer deck profile. We picked up Battle of the Legends the other day. You might have seen Terry opening up his one sad and one happy box. So I managed to get everything I wanted for Appliancers, and I thought I'd just show off. I've got a couple of different deck profiles for you. The first one's going to be a more competitive build, and then later on I'm going to show you a more budget friendly version, since the Appliancers themselves are very cheap. It's just a nice cheap deck for you as well. We'll get into it. Okay, so to start off, we'll play 3 of the best one, socket roll. So this one says that if you control an Appliancer, you can special summon it from your hand, and if while it's already in the field you special summon another socket roll, you can special summon another socket roll from deck. So if you open up 2, you can do that, or the other way to do that is with copy buckle. So that says if you control an Appliancer, you can special summon this and make its name the same as the one that's already in the field. So if you already have a socket roll, you have this in hand, normal summon this, effect this will summon it and make its name socket roll, triggers this, summons a third socket roll, or a second socket roll plus copy buckle. And then it also has the effect, if it's in the grave, you can target one you control, banish this card from the grave, and special summon one from your hand or grave with the same name as the one you control. Then we have the worst one, Breaker Bungle. It's the worst one, but it's the one you want to normal summon if you have the other 2 in hand, because these both can special summon themselves. This can't. This is just a protection, so you just discard it to protect or banish to protect. Moving on to some of the engines, we'll get Format Skipper. So this can make itself an Appliancer name, and it can search for a level 5 or high Cyburst. Your targets for this would be either 2 Parallax Seed, or if you have one of these already, you can search for the Gitchari. Gitchari can target a Cyburst effect monster you control, negates the effect and summon itself. So if you target the Parallax Seed, this goes back to being level 8, this level 8 as well, you can make a rank 8. Then we have the Codebreaker 0 Day. So this has an effect, any link monster that points to it loses 1,000 attack. None of that's relevant. You're using it for the extract monsters, which is a nice link climbing engine, which I'll show you in the extract bit. Then we have Hand Traps. So we'll play 2 Ash because it's Ash, and then Effect Veiler because we're playing the Where Art Thou, it's just a searchable hand trap. And I don't want to see 2 Ash in hand really, because you really need to maximise what you have in hand with this. Then we have 3 of the Field Spell. This adds any appliance card when it's activated, and when you link summon, you can add an Appliancer monster from your grave to your hand, so that can add back a socket roll if you've not used the special summon effect. Then we have Reuse, which is the reborn for the deck, and when that would leave the field again, it goes to the bottom of the deck. It's not once per turn, so you can just play 3 in one turn. Then we have the Where Art Thou. We're playing a lot of level 1s, so just seeing more of them is great. The life point cost is mostly irrelevant. Then we have the Sign Up Mining. So this is really part of the combo. You need to put an Appliancer in grave, and this can search for your Forward Skipper, which you want to be your normal summon in the combo. So we'll get to that in a bit. Machine Duplication. All your Appliancers are machines with less than 500 attack, so all of them are machine dip targets. Breaker Bunkle is the one you really want to do just to get them all out of deck and engrave, because then they'll be used for protection effects. 3 Call By, because we like your stuff to go through. Terraforming to see the field spell. 1 for 1, another way to get one of the Appliancers in grave, and just lets you see any of your level 1s that you need. And 3 Impair. So that's the main deck. Then we'll go on to the extra deck. So we've got 1 Vacuolifant, 1 Wonder Dragon, 1 Kappa Scale, and 1 Celtibus. So we have Celtibus, which has really good arrows. I'll show you that with the virus stuff. The Kappa Scale, which is part of the combo, this is why we need one of the Appliancers in the graveyard, because all of the link ones have the same condition that they can't be used as link material the time they're summoned. So this one has an effect where you can tribute it to special summon a level 4 lower Appliancer from your grave. We also have Spot Removal in the form of Launch Dragon, where it banishes anything that it battles against, and you take no battle damage, so that's good removal. And Vacuolifant, that can discard one to destroy a card if it's not co-linked, and if it is co-linked you can do it for free. So the reason Celtibus has these arrows is you can have either of these 2 in this zone and Vacuolifant in that zone. but all we're really using Celtipus for, it has an effect where you can boost appliances that it's co-linked with by 1,000 for each card it's co-linked with, and if an appliance or link monster is destroyed by battle, you draw one. So you don't use it. You're wanting it for the arrows, because if you summon this plus 2 monsters, you can make the Virus Swordsman. Virus Swordsman has the effect when it's link summoned. If it's co-linked, you can special summon a Codebreaker 0 Day from deck. This is why we play this. You can then link these two into the other one, which is Berserker. And this is when it's link summoned. If it's co-linked, you can special summon 2 to zones link monsters point to. So that's where the Celtipus comes in. So it can stay co-linked, gives a zone here, and the Virus Berserker gives a zone here. So you can summon these back. This gives you 8 link materials worth for your original 4. So originally you would have had 2 and 2. Now you've got 2, 2, 3 and 1, which is an Apollousa and a Gryphon, or whatever you want to make, or an access code. And Virus Berserker also has an effect to destroy spells and traps for the number of linked code breakers you have, so it's really good removal as well, especially if we're going second. Playing level 1s, so Anima for removal and the Link Rebo. If you open suboptimally, this can just be what triggers off the Parallel Exceed. Then we've got the Nightmare, so you've got the Phoenix and Unicorn, that's just standard. You play the Gryphon, because if you go first there's not a whole lot you can set up, but you can set up a Gryphon fairly consistently with either an Apollousa. With a good hand you can do an Apollousa and a rank 4 or a rank 8, or whatever you need. This is the access code, which Liam has borrowed. Please give us that back. Apollousa, gets Apollousa. And then we play 2 Xyz. So this is if you have just a Parallel Exceed, you can make a rank 4. This could be Baguska or whatever else you need. If you open the Gachari as well, you can negate the Parallel Exceed and make a rank 8. So I've got a Hope Harbinger here, that could also be something like a Dingy or so. So that's the deck. I'll just go over one of the combos just now as well. Okay guys, so this is what we're going to go with. So we're starting off with the Field Spell, the Socket Roll and Silent Many. This is optimal. So we'll activate the Field Spell, getting us the Copper Bottle. You always want to see those two together. And what we're going to do is we're going to Silent Many with the Socket Roll for the Formad. And we'll summon Formad, reveal any Appliancer, in this case Cap Scale, and then link this into the sorry, that's the Field Spell. Link into the Cap Scale. Formad will get you the Parallel Exceed. Then you can use Cap Scale effect to set basically like the Socket Roll from Grave. Copper Bottle effect because you control an Appliancer. Socket Roll because another Socket Roll has been summoned. You can special one from deck. You can then link 2 into the Celtipus. Here the Field Spell will trigger, which can add you back a Socket Roll. And you haven't actually used the Socket Roll effect to special summon from hand yet, so you'll special summon that now. You'll then go these 2 into the Virus Swordsman. Swordsman, because it's currently co-linked, it will summon at the 0 day to zone link monster points to. You can then go those 2 into the Berserker. Oh, that's not Berserker. Berserker. Because Berserker's co-linked, you can summon at these 2 to zones link monsters point to. If you're going second, this is where you could destroy things. But since we're going first, theoretically with this one, we go these 2 into Apollousa, these 2 into your Gryphon. Because link monsters have been summoned, summon the Parallel Exceed effects, summon the other one from your deck, and then we can overlay these into our rank 4. So 3 card combo to end on this, going first, plus you've got the 2 other cards which can be further extended. If you have to get cheery, this can be a rank 8 instead, or you're looking hopefully for things like hand traps or call buys. Alright guys, so I hope you found that useful. I will be going over a more budget friendly version of the deck. It will be purer, because the extra guys, the linked ones, they are actually pretty useful themselves, but they're not going to be anywhere near as quick as something like this. You could still use the Formad skippers, but the whole point of the Silent Many is to get something engraved. So we'll go over that in the next video. Other honourable mentions, instead of the rank 8 that I used of Harbinger, you could use something like Tingirsu. Instead of the rank 4, you could use Baguska, or really any rank 4. It's totally up to you, it depends on what your locals is like. You could also be playing the Numeron Gate 1 and the Gate C1, because that can just be a really impactful blowout on the deck. There's a lot of different options you can play. You can play more of the Appliancer guys themselves. Lunge Dragon and Vacuolifant, they are really good as well. In terms of other Link 4s, there's Avramax. That can still be very impactful. But there's a lot of space to really play around with the deck as you want. The extra deck is super tight. This is sort of the bare minimum I've gone down to of the Appliancers. As for the main deck, I think the Codebreaker is really good because it's a 1 card main deck engine, 2 cards in the extra deck. For the main deck, because you're playing a level 1 deck primarily, you can play things like the Jester Comfy. I played around with the Dotscaper, which didn't really do much for the deck. You can play other hand traps, like you could be searching for, you could use the Werearthid to search for D Crow or No Material, Droll, Knockbird. You've got a lot of things you can go for there. I'm not playing any draw power, which you probably could with Desires, but because I'm playing the one of things like the Gachiri and the Zero Day, and I'm only playing 2 Parallel Exceed, I just thought it was a bit risky to play the Desires. So maybe if I could pull off the combo then Desires, just digging for more hand traps I'd call by other things, then that would be fine. And also I just want to make the most out of my machine duplications. There is also Cyber Dragon Nashter, which it's a free special summon. You can then wear Arthau off of it. There's a lot you can do with level 1 decks. We've had Alex, he's hopefully going to do his Alerolust profile at some point, and he can show a lot more of what level 1s can do, sort of in a purer way. But thanks for watching. We'll try and get the budget version over to you soon, and please like, subscribe, comment below what you thought. Let me know if you've got any suggestions for the deck, and I'd love to check them out. Thanks.
Shh, not a zombie channel.